In my time, I studied everything. The flight of birds, the flow of blood, the smallest details of human expression.
And I focused on what cannot be seen: energy, electricity, the invisible forces that shape our world.
But no matter the subject, we always ask the same question. How does nature solve this?
Not what people assume, not what is commonly believed, but what is fundamentally true.
And that question has brought us here, to something incredibly simple.
A simple object that became one of the most important things on Earth.
A mask made of fibers,
Almost worthless in normal times, priceless in a moment of crisis.
In 2020, the world faced a shortage.
Not of intelligence, not of resources.
But of thinking.
They called it a mass crisis. But in
reality, it was a thinking crisis.
crisis.
March 2020, the world came to a stop.
Not just because of a virus, but because of what it revealed.
Hospitals in New York, clinics in London, villages in Italy.
All asking the same question. Do you have extra masks?
I once wrote in my notebooks, obstacles do not block the path. They are the path.
But in 2020, the real obstacle wasn't the virus itself. It was the absence of preparation.
The most advanced nations in the world, with the best technology and medicine. And yet, they ran out of something as basic as cloth.
Not just cloth, not opinions, not assumptions, but first principles.
What is a mask, really?
Not what the label says, not what people repeat.
But what it actually is at its core. A structure of fibers, dense, layered, intertwined.
A physical barrier designed to block particles. And yet, during the crisis, many were told a different story. That masks work because of static electricity, like a magnet pulling particles.
But real-world evidence told a clearer story. In Missouri, 2 hairstylists worked while symptomatic with COVID-19. They served over 100 of clients.
Both the stylists and their clients wore masks, and not a single infection was reported among those clients. A case later documented by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
There's a myth out there, you've heard it. Never wash your disposable mask or you'll destroy the static charge that makes it work. But is that true? Let's look at the evidence. Not opinions, not fears, but real science and a real-world case study published by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Here's the idea behind the myth. Some masks use electric treatment, a fancy word for giving fibers a static charge that pulls particles in. And yes, electrostatic charge can enhance filtration. It's real. But here's the key question. Is it the main reason masks work? Or is it just a bonus? And if you wash your mask and lose that charge, does it become useless? The answer, as we're about to see, is a definitive no. Let me take you to Springfield, July 2020. 2 hairstylists worked while symptomatic with COVID-19. Between them, they served 139 clients over 8 days. Researchers recorded the exact masks worn. Nearly half were 100% cotton, which holds 0 electrostatic charge. If static charge were essential, the virus should have spread like wildfire, but that's not what happened. There was virtually no transmission. 0 among clients, 0 among secondary contacts. The masks worked, cotton and surgical alike, even with extended use in mixed mask types, and fit mattered too. So if static charge faded or was never there at all, what actually protected these people?
The CDC report emphasized the importance of wearing masks, but never commented static charge was not essential for masks to function.
Why was this critical detail overlooked? Was it to protect big mask manufacturers, or simply because experts failed to apply true first principles thinking?
But that explanation only scratches the surface. It misses the deeper truth.
And this is where a different kind of thinker becomes essential.
A first principles thinker.
Someone who breaks problems down to their most basic reality.
Someone who doesn't ask, what are others saying?
but instead asks what actually works,
One of those thinkers is Patrick Poon.
while others followed assumptions. He returned to fundamentals. He looked at what truly matters,
And what he found was simple.
but powerful.
Before we show you this, consider how far this idea reached. The original video was uploaded in March 2020, and since then it has reached over 884,000 viewers worldwide.
Even its Chinese version has been viewed more than 121,000 times. Because when something is true, it resonates.
Hello, my name is Patrick Poon. I'm not a doctor or any medical specialist, but I'm a product designer for the past 40 years. Corona flu virus is affecting worldwide right now. It was in China, then Hong Kong is affected, and now it's worldwide. So Italy, Iran, and now I think in the USA is getting cases. About 3 weeks ago, I sent a message in Hong Kong that reviewing the mask, and I would like to do an English version and for you guys to understand from the designer's viewpoint the possibility of reusing the mask is possible or not. Let's review what's happening in the USA right now.
Since the coronavirus. Even still, brick-and-mortar stores are struggling to keep up with demand. Companies like Home Depot, Rite Aid, Target, Lowe's, CVS, Walgreens all tell CNN they're working to expedite product to their stores. Home Depot is limiting 10 masks per customer, and sites like Amazon shut down suppliers accused of price.
From a designer standpoint, I'm trying to study the material, and here are the 3 layers. Polypropylene material. We did find some source material from a electronic microscope company who has done a study, a test, and this is a cross-section, exactly how you look from this cross-section. And this actually is an N95 mask that the cover, the top and the bottom layer, and then the middle filter material. The middle filter material has 2 layers right now, and you can obviously look at how fine the fibers are layered, and that's how they trap the virus. And the virus almost like going into a maze and got trapped. This is the one single layer, which is similar to this, and the filter is here, and then the top and bottom area. Also, I would like to show what the test that they have done. Basically, the test was done with this mask being cut into 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and one is kept as the record, and then one is being cooked in water for 10 minutes, one in a steam bath for 10 minutes, and actually one in alcohol bath for 10 minutes. And their finding under microscope, which is 250 times, and which show nothing change. And they also have one that's 2,000 times magnification, and all 4 cannot see any damage to the fibers, or anything broken or damaged, twisted, or anything. So this is original. This is the water, hot water in 10 minutes, and this is the steamed, and this is from alcohol. So the 2,000 times really magnifying, there's no damage. This is the hot water one. So from this aspect, I would like to propose a suggestion how you can sterilize with hot water and also clean with hand soap. From a designer standpoint, about the material of the mask, I cut open the mask, and there is typically a 3-layer. So this is the non-woven fabric on the top and bottom, one with the water repelling texture, and this is the filter material. The filter material itself is like a paper thin, but is created by polypropylene well-blown plastic material fibers. So the process is actually quite similar to the household scrubber that you may use. The fiber size is a lot finer on this application. So let's try. This is quite stiff right now, and this is the mask that I just used, and I always mark my name on it so that I know I'm reusing my own mask. So put it in. I'll put that on together. This is right now pretty stiff, and use hot water. And from a medical specialist or dermatologist recommendation, the water temperature needs to be 72 degrees Celsius and above. And if you soak it for 10 minutes, any virus or germs or bacteria will be killed. So a boiling pot of water would be 100 degrees Celsius, So if you cool it down anywhere, I would suggest between 75 to 100 degree temperature would be good. So soak it for 10 minutes. That will kill all the bacteria inside. And if you notice, this scrubber softens. The material actually did softens at 100 degree temperature, and then it will go back to the original state once it's cooled down. So let's say my suggestion is to soak it for 10 minutes and take it out. Let's say this one I will leave it on the side, and let's say this is already soaked for 10 minutes. I would suggest an extra step, because the most critical part is the inside. When you breathe, the moisture will create dirt and fills out the holes. So I would suggest to have hand soap to clean it off with a soft brush, a toothbrush, and that will clean off all the residues from your breathing moistures, and you may scrub a little bit on the top side. My understanding of polypropylene material is very strong. It's like the scrubber or the hinge on your container. This is also a polypropylene material, and the hinge here is a typical polypropylene string that you could reuse it so many times. So basically, a little scrubbing, a soft scrubbing by a soft brush will not affect the property, and you clean it with the water, and that's it. I think you have clean off. You basically sterilize with the hot water and then clean off with soap, and you can just hang dry. The next day, you can have almost a new mask to use. And this mask that I used yesterday and hung dry, and I always mark my name on this so that I can reuse. And this actually has been washed for at least 5 times or 6 times. So I hope this will help, so that during the shortage crisis, you can have a mask to use. And I would highly recommend you try it out. So hopefully that would help you. And oh, by the way, this now is kind of cool off, and it's go back to its original state, not softened. So basically, my viewpoint as a designer that knows about polypropylene material property, from that viewpoint, I'm sure there's a lot of specialists and that know that you cannot reuse them. But in a critical shortage period, this is a better way to do it. One way to soften it and leave all the limited resources for the medical staff to use, because they do need them as a one-time use. But for general public like you and me, in a general household, the environment is very clean. If just in case, if you are in contact with an infected person that he may not or she may not know that she got infected, a mask will not help. Basically, the mask protects the mouth and the nose, but your eyes, your hair, your clothing will all cover with the same bacteria or virus as well. Unless you wear full protection gear with the protective clothing and solid mask, you will get infected. The mask will not protect you from direct contact.
A reminder that real solutions don't come from noise. They come from understanding.
Not from fear, but from clarity.
What we've seen is not just about masks.
It is about how we think.
If the world leaders can think like Patrick Poon in March 2020,
many, many lives could have been saved worldwide, far more than we realize.
every solution follows a process.
A way of thinking that reveals what truly works.
First, identify and challenge assumptions. Second, break down to fundamental truths.
And lastly, rebuild innovative solutions.
This is first principles thinking.
And it changes everything.
But this is only the beginning. Because one man didn't stop at understanding.
He applied it.
Next, we explore how Patrick Poon turned thinking
into real-world inventions. What he actually built.
Stay tuned and follow us for more episodes like this.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe. On to the next one.